Here's a cleaned up and more readable version of your transcription. I've corrected grammar, punctuation, and sentence structure while maintaining the original meaning. APAC 2025, feedback every time they speak. Before we begin, while we're waiting for everyone to arrive, please make sure you have an account for ChatGPT and Turboscribe.ai. In the workshop part of this session, you'll first use Turboscribe and then ChatGPT. Ideally, if you've already downloaded the ChatGPT app, it will be easier for you to listen to your recordings. You'll also need a QR code reader, as many activities at APAC 2025 will require one. When listening to recordings made with Turboscribe, it's best to use earphones for better clarity. What this workshop covers. This workshop will show you how students aged 13 plus can use these apps for free to receive instant feedback on their speaking. I recommend introducing this step by step, and I'll point out what to do on the first day and how to continue in the following days. We'll explore the capabilities of Turboscribe.ai and ChatGPT through a real example from one of my students. You'll experience what it's like to simulate being a student, and I'll guide you through using my 5-step prompt. At the end, I'd like you to share your thoughts on these ideas. Accessing the workshop materials. You can scan the QR code or use the short URL at the bottom of the slide to access a Google Drive folder. Inside, you'll find a folder labeled APAC 2025, containing this exact presentation, so there's no need to take photos constantly. Why Turboscribe.ai? We'll be using Turboscribe.ai and ChatGPT for this workshop. I chose Turboscribe because free account, you can make 3 recordings every 24 hours. Generous time limit, each conversation can last 30 minutes, far more than students need. Supports 90 plus languages, useful for language learners and teachers. Integration with ChatGPT, they work well together. For students aged 13 plus, like ChatGPT, it requires parental permission for younger students. The student recording example. Now, I'll show you an unedited transcript of a student's spoken English generated automatically by Turboscribe. We'll then look at a cleaned up version and discuss how to check and edit transcriptions. Key takeaways. Turboscribe automatically corrects some errors, such as missing in third-person singular verbs. However, students must check for errors themselves. They should edit misinterpretations in the transcript, not their own language mistakes. We'll go through the steps together and you'll see the difference between 1. The raw transcript, 2. A manually corrected transcript, 3. An improved version at the same CFR level, 4. A version at the next level up. Hands-on activity, trying Turboscribe again. Now let's practice. Please open Turboscribe.ai in your browser. Log in and click Dashboard. Start a new recording and pause it when ready. Select the language you want to use, one where you're likely to make mistakes. When finished, click Transcribe, but don't do it just yet. I'll explain the task first. The goal is to retell a short story as if you were explaining it to a classmate. Ideally, include one extra detail for your partner to identify later. The 5-step prompt. Now let's look at my 5-step prompt for ChatGPT. Use the QR code to access it in a Google Doc. Copy the text, then open Turboscribe.ai. Click on the 3 dots in the top right corner. Select ChatGPT Custom Prompt. Delete the default prompt and paste my 5-step prompt. When you run this prompt, ChatGPT will 1. Identify errors in your transcript. 2. Correct the errors. 3. Provide an improved version at the same CFR level. 4. Generate a version 1 level higher. 5. Create a 2-level up version. Listening to the improvements after ChatGPT provides these versions, you can listen to them. If you're using the ChatGPT app, hold your finger on the text and choose Read Aloud. On a browser, highlight the text, though this feature doesn't always work on mobile. I suggest listening to all three improved versions, then reading them aloud yourself. This will help you absorb the language and improve your speaking skills. Evaluating your progress. After completing the steps, you can assess your progress by listening to your initial recording, comparing it to the improved versions, repeating the task, and checking if your rating improves. To evaluate today's session, scan the QR code on the slide or go to menti.com and enter the code 17342868 to answer a few reflection questions. Final notes. I hope you found these ideas useful. If you'd like to stay updated, join our WhatsApp group for teachers using speech-to-text in language learning. You'll find a link in the shared Google Drive folder. Thank you for joining the session. We have 3 minutes for questions, but I'll also be available during the break if you'd like to chat. I've been experimenting with these tools for over 2 years, and while I haven't tested them in a full classroom setting, I've conducted informal trials, including with my granddaughter. This version is clearer and more structured, while keeping all the important details. Let me know if you'd like any changes.